Hey guys, how you going? I was watching a video the other day and somebody pointed out this, and I followed the link and found Federal Bureau of Investigation, FOI, PA, on the finders. So these are deleted page information sheet. So all the pages that are deleted out of here, there's a lot of redactions and blanks. So well, there's a lot of redacted pages. Some duplicates. Get to the first bit. Okay, FBI Miami immediate. Unclassified section 1 of 2. Pass. Supervisory Special Agent SSA blank squad. C4 Washington Metropolitan Field Office WMFO SSA blank squad C4 Miami Division and Senior Supervisory Resident Agent SSRA blank West Palm Beach Resident Agency Miami Division. Sorry if I'm reading this a lot slower, guys, because it's just a bit, as you can see, it's a bit strange to read. Subject: Finders Group, White Slave Traffic Act, Sexual Exploitation of Children, Obstruction of Justice, Preliminary Inquiry, 00WMFO, page 2. RE FBI HQ, facsimile to Miami SSA blank, dated 27th of the 10th, 93, and to Miami SSRA blank, dated 28th of the 10th, 93, and FBI HQ SSA blank blank, tel call with WMFO SSA blank on 29th of the 10th, 93. Okay, the Department of Justice, DOJ, has requested the FBI conduct a preliminary inquiry into allegations made by blank blank concerning child sexual abuse by a group known as the Finders, and what role, if any, was played by the United States intelligence community. By separate communication, WMFO will be provided available documentation received to date from DOJ concerning blank allegations. United States Customs Service, USCS, SA blank blank, USCS Headquarters, Washington, D.C. blank, also possesses documentation concerning finders which is to be obtained by WMFO. The following information is being provided as background in this matter for WMFO and Miami. In 1997, blank, big blank, were convicted of sexually abusing children. One of the children who attended the school during the time of the alleged sexual abuse was blank, doing business as a lot of blanks. After the imposition of prison sentences on both blank, became convinced that numerous other children had been abused and that the abuse was part of a large, well-organised scheme. Subsequently, blank has attempted to interest congressional members in the USCS in his efforts to enhance efforts in the area of child sexual abuse and investigating claims of organised sexual abuse. During October 1993, blank met with United States Congressman Rose, Florida, to discuss allegations concerning a group known as Finders. Both Congressman Rose and blank subsequently provided information concerning these allegations to the DOJ. An FBI HQ indices search revealed a reference to Finders in FBI HQ file 7HQ20191. A review of this file indicated that FBI Jacksonville file 7-1248 and FBI WMFO file 7-1635 or 885 had conducted an investigation resulting from an arrest of 2 individuals in the Tallahassee, Florida in 1987. On the 4th of the 2nd, 87, blank were arrested by the Tallahassee Police Department on misdemeanor child abuse charges resulting from a complaint that 6 children playing in a park were unkept and neglected. Blank, the 2 subjects with the children, could not initially provide sufficient information as to their legal custody of the children and were uncooperative regarding their identity and the children's identity. As a result of information developed during these arrests, the TPD contacted the Metropolitan Police Department, MPD, Washington, D.C., and provided information concerning blank and their association with a group known as Finders. Based in Washington, D.C., on the 5th of the 2nd, 87, the MPD executed search warrants prepared by the United States Attorney's Office, District of Columbia, Washington, D.C., on 2 properties owned by the Finders in Washington, D.C. Special Agent S.A. blank USCS participated in these searches. A joint investigation conducted by the MPD and WMFO led to the identification and interview of the mothers of 6 children, 2 of the fathers, and several other key members of the Finders group. On the 18th of the 2nd, 87, WMFO presented the results of their investigation to Assistant United States Attorney blank, United States Attorney Office for the District of Columbia, Washington, D.C., who declined prosecution for violation of Title 18 U.S. Code Section 1201, kidnapping, and 2251, sexual exploitation of children. WMFO SA blank was the WMFO case agent in this matter. DOJ review of USCS documents indicates that during the execution of the search warrants by the MPD at the 2 Finders properties, USCS SA blank claims to have observed a substantial amount of computer equipment and documents purportedly containing instructions for obtaining children for unspecified purposes. The instructions allegedly included the infringement of female members of the community, purchasing children, trading children, and kidnapping them. Blank claims a lot of blank and more blanks. Blanks alleged that the Finders are involved in a well-organised child abuse scheme and that blank, in conjunction with the State Department and the FBI's Foreign Counterintelligence Section, conspired to cover up those abuses. USCS SA blank should be contacted by WMFO to obtain complete USCS documentation concerning Finders. Investigation by WMFO in this matter will also include the interview of blank and the review of any documentation in the possession of blank, the State Department Passport Office, and the Foreign Counterintelligence Division, FBI HQ, BT, number 0179 NNNN, November 93, Director FBI, immediate, unclass, Section 2 of 2, pass. Supervisory Special Agent SSA blank, Squad C4, Washington Metropolitan Police Office, WMFO, SSA blank, Squad C-4, Miami Division, and Senior Supervisory Resident Agent SSRA blank, West Palm Beach, Resident Agency, Miami Division. Subject, Finders Group, White Slave Act, Sexual Exploitation of Children, Obstruction of Justice, Preliminary Inquiry. Page 2D, unclassified anyway. It is noted that a member of Congress has indicated to the DOJ that blank due to the Finders investigation. Investigation should be conducted promptly in this matter, and WMFO will submit results by teletype to the Violent Crimes Fugitives Unit. Violent Crimes and Major Offenders Section, Criminal Investigation Division. Leeds, Miami Division. Attention, Stewart, Florida, will locate and interview blank, doing business as blank, and obtain any relevant material in his possession concerning finders. WMFO at Washington, D.C., number 1, will locate and interview USCS Special Agent blank, and 2, will locate and interview USCS Special Agent blank. Washington, D.C., blank, to obtain USCS documentation relating to finders, will interview WMFO Special Agent blank to obtain details of the WMFO investigation pertaining to finders. Number 4, will review available documentation concerning finders from blank, State Department Office and the Foreign Counterintelligence Division, FBI HQ. By memorandum dated 26th of the 10th, 93, from Acting Assistant Attorney General John C. Keeney, Criminal Division, Department of Justice, to Assistant Director Larry A. Potts, the Department of Justice requested the FBI conduct a preliminary inquiry into allegations made by blank concerning child sexual abuse by a group known as the Finders, and what role, if any, was played in the United States. I've read that bit. More blanks. We'll see what we can find in here. Original notes, miscellaneous documents. Okay, let's see what we can find. We'll keep scrolling through. A lot of this is obviously written, handwritten, copies of the actual documents. I'll keep scrolling through till I find more to read. What I'll do too, guys, is I'll do this in a few parts because there's like 400 pages here. So I'm going to go through and see what we can find. And some of it's also been redacted there, as you can see. I'm not sure if I'm able to read that. What I will do is I'll put a link underneath too, guys, so if you want to have a look, you might be able to read this writing. It's like doctor's writing. I can't understand that. I can understand some of it, but not all of it. Looks like they've been writing very quickly. Finder, not a CIA. I can't read it. Okay, we'll keep going through. I'll be back, guys. I'll just find it. I'll find the next bit. Okay, guys, I'm back. I've found a page to read. I had to scroll to page 35. I don't know about you, but when I'm scrolling, I get a bit, it makes me like motion sickness or something. Okay, a review of the memorandum reflects obvious blank observed and what was in fact recovered by the Metropolitan Police Department, MPD, during the execution of search warrants at blank, big blanks. On the 28th of the 2nd, 87, this memorandum was brought to the attention of blank MPD. The blank handling captioned matter for MPD. Blank advised that the writer had a thorough review of all evidence obtained at the two aforementioned locations, did not produce any of the items described in the examples cited above by blank, advised no evidence of child sexual exploitation, kidnapping or any related crimes was obtained, and that there was no computerized lists ordering children. A copy of the memorandum was provided to a lot more blanks. Finders Group, another memo. Attached to this memo is material provided to WMFO by FBI HQ, CID, VCU at the 2nd of 11th 93 meeting concerning captioned matter held at FBI HQ. The following individuals were present at this meeting. A few special agents there, blanks. SSA blank indicated that this investigation was to be a preliminary inquiry focused primarily on the Finders Group. SSA blank stated that he or another FBI HQ representative would arrange for review of the files, documents in the possession of the blank Strata Department and Intelligence Division, FBI HQ, and advise WMFO accordingly. Finders Preliminary Inquiry. On the 2nd of the 11th 93 met with SSA blank Division 5 Special Staff, Extension 3951, Room 4127, and SSA blank Office of Liaison and Internal Affairs, OLIA, Extension 4634, FBI HQ, who is the FBI HQ liaison with the State Department. I had previously provided blank with a packet of documents concerning the Finders Preliminary Inquiry. The three of them will determine the best manner to request the record checks by blank DOS for Finders. Blank will conduct a search of Division 5 records to determine if there is any documentation concerning Finders. Preliminary inquiry allegations of organised child abuse by a group known as Finders. On the 1st of the 11th 93, a representative from the Violent Crimes Unit, VCU, Violent Crimes and Major Offenders Section, Criminal Investigative Division, CID, prepared a packet of documents received to date data in this matter for review by WMFO. On the 1st of the 11th 93, a representative from the VCU contacted WMFO SSA blank and scheduled a meeting between representatives of the Violent Crimes Unit, SSA blank, and the WMFO case agent on the 2nd of the 11th 93. On the 1st of the 11th 93, a representative from the VCU met with FBI HQ Office of Liaison and International Affairs, SSA blank, State Department Liaison, and SSA blank to discuss DOJ's request that the FBI review documents from the State Department Passport Office, DOS, and the blank pertaining to Finders. It is noted that the DOJ requested that an FBI agent review relevant documents firsthand from the relevant intelligence agencies as opposed to having to rely on the agency's summaries or review. During a meeting at DOJ with Section Chief Burgasser and DOJ Attorney Blank on the 28th of the 10th 93, it was pointed out that a written request from the FBI or DOJ would be required before any records could be obtained from DOS for review by the FBI. During that meeting, Mr. Burgasser requested that the FBI prepare a communication to blank DOS and let him review it before it was sent to those agencies. On the 28th of the 10th 93, a representative of the Violent Crimes Unit met with George Burgasser, Section Chief and Attorney blank, Child Exploitation and Obscenity Section, Department of Justice. Burgasser noted that DOJ had received a 3-ring binder from Special Agent blank U.S. Customs Service, USCS. This binder contains USCFS briefing material on Finders. They requested that the FBI contacted USCS to obtain a copy of the material contained in the 3-ring binder. Burgasser noted that in 1987 in Stuart, Florida, a big blank. Burgasser noted that during October 93, blank met with United States Congressman Rose, Florida, to discuss allegations concerning a group known as Finders. Both Congressman Rose and blank concerning these allegations to DOJ. He is concerned that several congressional subcommittees may be looking at the Finders matter and that the TV documentary 48 Hours plans to air a segment on it. And there's more blanks. A lot more blanks. On the 28th of the 10th, 93, an FBI HQ indices search revealed a reference to finders in FBI HQ file 7-HQ 20191. On the 29th of the 10th, 93, a review of this file indicated that FBI Jacksonville file 7-1248 and FBI WMFO file 7-1685 had conducted an investigation resulting from an arrest of 2 individuals in Tallahassee, Florida in 1987. Okay, I think I have read that bit. Oh, have I? Okay, guys, I had to skip ahead again. On the 27th of the 10th, 93, an indices check by the Strategic Information and Operations Center, SIOC, identified 4 FBI HQ files, 7-20191, 9-67521, 62-119517, and 66-19075 as having references to finders, and 3 FBI HQ files, 87-0, serials 15124, page 1, and serial 15140, 157 to 370, and 157 to 1552, containing references to blank. There were no references to blank. These files have been obtained and will be reviewed by the Violent Crimes Unit. On the 27th of the 10th, 93, SIOC identified 16 articles in the LexisNexis database concerning finders. These articles indicate that on the 4th of the 2nd, 87, the Tallahassee Police Department, Tallahassee, Florida, conducted a traffic stop on a van containing 2 men and 6 small children. The 2 men were arrested and were each charged with 1 count of child abuse. On the 27th of the 10th, 93, a lead was sent to the Miami Division to locate and interview blank. The case agent has known blank for approximately 15 years and will contact him on the 28th of the 10th, 93 to schedule the interview with him. On the 28th of the 10th, 93, the Correspondence Unit, FBI HQ, advised that they had no reference in their files concerning finders, nor blank. On the 28th of the 10th, 93, FBI HQ Olio was contacted concerning the review of blank. State Department office files pertaining to finders. A written request in LHM format will be prepared to obtain this information. On the 28th of the 10th, 93, Jacksonville JK's SSA blank advised that JK was involved in an investigation with the group known as the Finders in 1987. This case involved the recovery of 6 children in Tallahassee, Florida, who were travelling in a van with 2 grown males not related to them. The FBI had participated in the arrest of these 2 individuals, who were each charged locally with 1 count of child abuse. SA blank advised that many allegations had been made regarding sexual abuse in this case, but none were proven. It appears that there was parental consent for the children to travel with these individuals. The children were subsequently returned to their parents, and the subjects spent about 10 days in the local jail and released. This investigation was conducted primarily by local authorities. On the 28th of the 10th, 93, blank, National Centre for Missing and Exploited Children, was interviewed concerning finders and the 2 searches conducted in 1987 at the 2 finders' properties in Washington, D.C. Blank, subsequent to the Tallahassee Police Department, TPD, making the traffic stop at the van, the TPD determined that these 2 men belonged to a group known as the Finders based in Washington, D.C. As a result of information developed by TPD during the traffic stop, the TPD contacted the Washington Metropolitan Police Department, WMPD. The WMPD developed information that was subsequently utilised to obtain a search warrant for a warehouse and a residence located in Washington, D.C., owned by the Finders. US Customs and the WMPD participated in this search, and blank noted that approximately 7 computers and numerous computer floppy disks were seized during the search. He did not participate in any subsequent review of this material. Blank advised that the NCMEC has not developed any positive information that the Finders organisation is involved in child sexual abuse. Lots of blanks. Blank also advised that he had been told that documentation had been located in the WMPD files to indicate that Sergeant John Steicher, deceased, who had been his sergeant during the Finders search, had been contacted by a blank who had told him to step away from the Finders case. Allegedly blank. WMFO conducted investigation in this matter, and this information will be subsequently reviewed. On the 28th of the 10th, 1993, George Bagasso, Section Chief, Child Exploitation and Obscenity Section, Department of Justice, advised that the DOJ has a book of material on the Finders and additional material that will be made available for review by the FBI. Representatives of the Violent Crime Unit will meet with him on the 28th of the 10th, 93. FBI file summary of 7-20191, reference Finders Group. Blank by Tallahassee Police Department, TPD, on misdemeanor child abuse charges. The two subjects were arrested after a complaint was made that 6 children were playing in a park, seemed to be unkept and neglected. The two subjects with the children could not initially provide sufficient information as to their legal custody of the children and were uncooperative regarding their identity or the children's identity. After the subjects were arrested, TPD obtained information from the children that they were from Washington, D.C. area. TPD and FBI Jacksonville contacted the Youth Services Division in Washington, D.C. in an effort to further identify the children. The FBI got involved in the investigation at this time due to the possibility that children had been kidnapped. The vehicle registration records for a van the men had in their possession when arrested reflected that it was blank. A joint investigation by the federal... I'm wondering if that blank would be like one of the agencies or something, or government or something. A joint investigation by the Washington Metropolitan Police Department, MPD, and the Federal Bureau of Investigation led to the identification and interview of the mothers of the 6 children in question, 2 of the fathers and several other key members of the Finders Group. All persons interviewed claimed their group consisted of an alternative communal type life style made up of intellectuals who have chosen to live this way, the way they do. The mothers are all aware that the children had been taken to Florida on a trip they were familiar with and thoroughly trusted the men in whose care the children had been placed, and all insisted the children were well cared for. On the 18th of the 2nd, 87, the United States Attorney's Office, WDC, declined prosecution in this matter for violation of USC Title 18, Sections 1201 and 1251. Blanks, reference, photos and subjects and children. Teletype from WFO to FBI HQ, RE, blank Finders, allegedly a... and lots of blanks. Serial number 15, teletype from JK to FBI HQ, dated 7th of the 2nd, 87. Synopsis of investigation to date. 16, teletype from FBI Richmond, 166C-841 to FBI HQ, dated 7th of the 2nd, 87. RE, results of search warrants on properties owned by blank Virginia State Police. Search warrants did not produce evidence of federal or state violations of the law concerning sexual exploitation of children. However, it appears that children found in Florida had lived at this location. Serial number 20, Airtel from FBI HQ to Jacksonville, dated the 10th of the 3rd, 87, responding to Odysee's check request. Number 24, teletype from WMFO to FBI HQ, RE interview of blank provides info pertaining to Finders Group and explanation of incident in Florida. Number 27, Airtel from WMFO to FBI HQ dated the 1st of the 4th, 87, advising that AUSA blank declined prosecution in this matter, stating that there is no evidence of a federal violation. No additional investigation in this case. It's to and from is blank, the RE finders, on the 28th of the 10th, 93. I spoke to SSA blank and SA blank Jacksonville Division JK regarding information they may have on a group known as the Finders. SSA blank advised that JK was involved in an investigation with the group known as the Finders in 1987. This case involved the recovery of 6 children in Tallahassee, Florida. The children were travelling in a beat-up 1979 Ford van with 2 grown males not related to them. The children were recovered in fairly good condition except that they were very dirty. On the 20th of the 2nd, 92, a FOIPA request regarding this investigation was made by Washington, D.C. blank, could not provide additional information regarding the FOIPA request. SSA blank recommended that I speak with the Tallahassee RA case agent blank. SA blank advised that the FBI and local law enforcement participated in the arrest of 2 individuals who were travelling around the country with 6 young children not related to them. SA blank said that he was providing this information from memory, but advised that the media blew the case out of proportion. He advised that many allegations were made regarding sexual abuse in this case, but none were proven. It appears that there was parental consent for the children to travel with these individuals. The children were returned to their parents and the subjects spent about 10 days in the local jail and released. This investigation was conducted primarily by the local authorities. SA blank could not provide additional information in this matter. And notes and child pornography and help and child pornography and exploitation. Co-sponsor the Lewis bill to re-establish child pornography unit. Dear colleague, in February 1991, US Customs integrated their Child Pornography and Protection Unit into Smuggling Investigations Division, Office of Investigative Programs. At the time, Customs stated that these changes have in no way affected the manner in which child pornography investigations are being conducted by our field officers or by the support that our headquarters staff provides. I asked Customs to provide me with arrests, convictions, and employee hours spent on child pornography and protection. Customs' own numbers show a dramatic and inexcusable decline. In 1988, there were 106 arrests, 100 convictions, and employee hours were 47,772. In 1989, there were 54 arrests, 57 convictions, 54,613 employee hours spent on it. In 1990, 110 arrests, 103 convictions, and 100,524 employee hours on it. In 1991, 82 arrests, 116 convictions, and 61,173. In 1992, 57 arrests, 69 convictions, and 27,435 employee hours spent. As you can see, since the unit's heyday in 1990, arrests and convictions have been nearly halved, and employee hours have been reduced to barely 1/4 of previous levels. Therefore, I am introducing a concurrent resolution calling on Customs to re-establish its Child Pornography and Protection Unit and to equal or exceed its 1990 efforts. It is clear Customs have given up most or their efforts to put an end to this reprehensible trade. It is time to make a permanent commitment to stopping those who prey on the most vulnerable members of our society. If you would like to co-sponsor this resolution, contact me or blank of my staff at blank. And what is that? Manhattan Beach Boulevard, chain link fence, slow retaining wall, driveway, 3-car garage. It's a property. One of the properties maybe that they... Oh, it's a preschool. Diagram of something preschool which has been demolished. Someone says 2 tunnels may have once been connected. Oh, there was tunnels in there. The tunnels found at McMartin Preschool, a preliminary report. A formal report will be released when forensic tests are concluded. 45-foot tunnel, 9-foot wide subterranean entrance found under west wall of the dog room, classroom 4, blank classroom. Avocado tree roots cut on both sides of the entrance. Disney bag, copyright 1982, found 4.5 feet below the classroom floor and 3 to 6 inches from the entrance under foundation, classroom 4. Tunnel proceeded south, then east 45 feet through classrooms 4 and 3, and north, then east 10 feet within classroom 4. Tunnels were 30 feet wide, sorry. Is it feet? 30 inches or 40? No, it'd have to be feet. Guys, correct me in the comments, please. 44 foot to 46 deep, with the top of the tunnel 30 foot under the classroom floor. The footing between classrooms 3 and 4 was arched where the tunnel passed underneath, and the 12 shorter in depth at this location, the same footing 12 feet to their north. That must be feet. 4 large upright containers were found in the tunnel under the arch, obviously hand-placed. A 9-foot wide chamber was found along the tunnel under classroom 4. Top of chamber and top sections of the tunnel had layers of plywood covered with... what is it? Something paper. Tar paper? Which had apparently been supported by cinder blocks and 2x2 and 2x4 wooden posts found underneath. Tunnel features made it evident the tunnel was hand dug. 7-foot tunnel extending into the triplex next door. Tunnel extended from the bathrooms of the office and classroom 1 to the front yard of the triplex next door. Front yard concealed from street by 3-car garage. Children described entrance and exiting tunnel in triplex yard, exactly where tunnel and exit were found. 139-foot by 41-foot area under a hole cut in his neighbour's bathroom floor had been excavated and subsequently filled. Other significant facts. A small white plastic plate with 3 pentagrams hand-drawn on top of light green paint was found by the archaeologists in the stratified dirt in the play yard. Per historical archaeologists, pentagrams were hand-drawn by an adult and not part of the manufacturer's design. Many other artefacts found, whose analysis will be released upon completion of tests. No doorknobs were on classroom 3 door, only a deadbolt lock. Each classroom had on and off light switched labelled fire alarm. System did not connect to fire station but was used as an alert within the school. More than 2,000 artefacts were found under the school floor, including over 100 animal bones. Due to severe time constraints, our archaeological team was unable to further explore the extent of the tunnel networks. Above documented thorough photos, notes, graphs, diagrams and charts. For more details, call that number and then blank. Department of the Treasury. Dear Mr. and Mrs. blank, thank you for your letter dated September the 13th, 1991, expressing your concerns regarding the U.S. Customs Service Child Pornography Program. The Child Protection Act of 1984 clearly defined the agency jurisdiction in this typically multidisciplined area of enforcement. The U.S. Postal Inspection Service has jurisdiction pertaining to the use of the U.S. mail to transport child pornography. Federal Bureau of Investigation, FBI, has jurisdiction over the interstate transportation of child pornography, and the U.S. Customs Services has jurisdiction over the interdiction and the international distribution of child pornography. The status has created a close working relationship between the agencies at the field office and headquarters level. The point of this is that the statute has permitted a clear definition of responsibility for the respective agencies. Recently, the U.S. Customs Service Headquarters Office of Enforcement experienced a massive reorganization. This reorganization caused the Child Pornography and Protection Unit to be integrated into the Smuggling Investigations Division. The Child Pornography and Protection Unit was part of the Central Smuggling Branch, which was part of the Smuggling Investigations Division. All units, branches, and sections were eliminated during the recent reorganisation. The Child Pornography Program is now headed by the National Child Pornography Program Manager, a senior special agent assigned to the Smuggling Investigation Division, Office of Investigative Programs, at headquarters. These changes have in no way affected the manner in which child officers or the support that the headquarters staff provides to these field officers. The primary functions of the unit remain the same. That is to coordinate investigations within the U.S. Customs Services and between the U.S. Customs Service and either other agencies, as well as collect, analyse, and disseminate child pornography data. Headquarters has established and still maintains working relationships with the Department of Justice through the Child Exploitation and Obscenity Section, the National Center for Missing and Exploited Children, the FBI, the U.S. Postal Service, and various military investigation commands. The Office of Enforcement also continues to work in conjunction with the Customs Office of Inspection and Control in seeking out and discovering new and unique methods of smuggling child pornography into the United States from other countries. The aggressive approach that the US Customs Services has demonstrated in conducting child pornography investigations within its jurisdictional area has had an impact on both the violators and the distributors, and the methods of smuggling used by these individuals. The US Customs Service will continue to target and investigate the importation of child pornography as aggressively as we have in the past. The ultimate effect is the enhancement on our part to prevent the sexual exploitation and abuse of children. Should you have any further questions or concerns, please do not hesitate to contact me. Sincerely, Blank. Finder's chronology. See previous material for dates. Contact of U.S. Customs by Tallahassee PD regarding discovery of unidentified children and adult male guardians in City Park. Requested contact with Washington MPD for assistance in locating possible addresses and relatives of children. Addresses located with assistance of MPD Intelligence Division. Second address identified, one residence, one warehouse. Search warrants obtained by MPD Intel. Warehouse site of previous MPD Intel inquiry involving classified maps of underground tunnel, sewer system, Washington, D.C. During search warrant staging, disclosure of pending search warrant execution made by Tallahassee PD to local media, Tallahassee, Florida. Tallahassee media representative contacted DC media for more details. DC media reps pursue public information at courthouse. Peruse public information at courthouse. Are waiting at search warrant sites for MPD search teams. Search warrants executed with MPD and 2 U.S. Customs agents, one at each site. FBI not involved until walkthrough on following day. Seizure of numerous documents made to include passports, teletexts, computer electronic media, correspondence et al. See previous material for expanded description. After search warrants shut down on first day, news reports carried FBI press release announcing FBI as lead investigating agency. Day after, once search resumed, FBI agent from Washington Field Office, WPO, makes walkthrough of warehouse, but does not examine any seized evidence. Additional search warrant executed on farm in rural Virginia with support by Virginia State Police. No federal involvement. Evidence of satanic cult ritual discovered. Based on observed documents, customs agencies unsuccessfully attempts to gain access to evidence for detailed analysis for use in investigating possible Export Neutrality Act, Mann Act, and child pornography violations, and blank. Blank contacts MPD Intelligence and advised that all reports regarding finders are to be classified at the secret level. Blank also advised that no information was to be turned over to the FBI, WPO for investigation, and that the WPO could not be advised of the blank involvement contact. Children discovered in Tallahassee were eventually turned over to individuals claiming to be parents or guardians. No further MPD, FBI, or customs involvement. As far as is known, no details of blank involvement ever became public. Who is blank? Blank's involvement never became public. It's interesting. And then there's just more of FBI unclassified. Oh. WMFO opened a kidnapping case 7-1685 on the 6th of 2nd, 87 as a result of 4th of the 2nd, 87 arrest and two men in Tallahassee, Florida for child abuse. These individuals blank were travelling in a van with 6 children. The van utilised by these. Yep, okay. Okay, pretty much we've got most of that. Group calling themselves the finders. Okay, some of it is worth reading. Okay, the Tallahassee Police Department, TPD, contacted the Metropolitan Police Department, MPD, Washington, D.C. to get information on the children, as they had made statements indicating a prior residence in WDC. On the 5th of the 2nd, 87, TPD contacted the local customs office, which subsequently contacted the WDC Area Customs Office, which then contacted MPD. Special Agent SA Customs provided the information concerning the arrest of blank to MPD Intelligence and the information of their Washington, D.C. addresses. Prior to the 5th of the 2nd, 87, MPD blank had received information from a confidential source that a group of people calling themselves the Finders were conducting brainwashing techniques at blank. The source reported children were used in rituals by the groups, but reported source never observed any actual child abuse. Based on the information provided by TPD and this source, MPD obtained search warrants and executed them on the 5th of the 2nd and the 6th of the 2nd, 87 at the 2 WDC addresses. MPD seized computers, software, photographs and biographical information concerning the Finders group from these locations. No evidence of child sexual exploitation, kidnapping or any related crimes was observed or obtained from this search. Present at this search were MPD detectives, FBI, SA blank, WMPO case agent and customs SA blank. A memo from SA blank dated 9th of the 3rd, 87 was located in the blank. And blank. Memo was sent to FBI HQ via facsimile on the 3rd of the 11th, 93. WMFO investigation of Finders Group revealed through a 7th of the 2nd 87 interview of group member blank the following. Blank advised Finders was a group blank in 1972 with the idea of responding to people in emergencies. Blank advised that the group gathered information for people or companies. Blank advised that Finders was based out of 1307 4th Street, NW, WDC. Blank described the blank as mysterious and related that no one usually knew where he was. Joint investigation by MPD and WMFO led to the identification and interview of the mothers of the 6 children in question, 2 of the fathers and several other key members of the so-called Finders Group. All persons interviewed claimed their group consists of an alternative lifestyle, communal-type association made up of intellectuals who have chosen to live the way they do. The mothers were all aware that the children had been taken to Florida on a trip. They were familiar with and thoroughly trusted the men in whose care the children had been placed, and all insisted the children were well cared for, although in an alternative manner. Everyone interviewed stated emphatically that no one in their group engaged in sex with children, that no ritualized abuse occurred, that the Finders are not a satanic cult, and that the children are in fact the offspring of the mothers interviewed. All of the mothers and the 3 fathers interviewed agreed to be polygraphed concerning their testimony. And polygraphs can be gotten past, you know, guys. On the 18th of the 2nd, 87, the United States Attorney Office, WDC, declined prosecution in caption matter for violation of United States Code Title 18, Sections 1201 and 2251, blank, 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 blank. WMFO files also contained a 7th of the 10th 92 extortion case, 9A-WF-183055 with blank and blank. This case was opened as a result, more blank, that he and several others of the Finders Group, blank, 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 advised that he and his colleagues realised that blank, 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 and the others at the time were in a custody battle over the group's property assets. More blank blanks, blank, 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 purportedly resided at blank, Virginia. Okay, guys, I'm going to take a break and do a second one shortly. Okay, guys. Bye.